Alright, welcome and beautiful music there by Wakati Band. I want to go straight into our discussion today. We'll do a short review and also just look at youth in politics. And to help us with that conversation today, we have Gideon Ketel, who's a Jubilee Party Youth League National Chairman. We also have Muriuki Ndigwo, he's a Wiper Youth Leader. Welcome. And then we also have Osman Siatu, who's a Youth Coordinator for Jubilee. And we were also expecting Bernard Wakoli, who was a Ford Kenya Youth Leader and NASA. But hopefully, if he makes time, well and good. If he doesn't, unfortunately, at Kua Mehata, as we like to say. Alright, so we want to quickly just briefly look at the discussions that have been going on. Top stories in the dailies, both is Raila wanting President Uhuru Kenyatta punished by IBC, saying that the president is using state resources. So I guess we'll start with Gideon. What is your view on this? Is the president using state resources? Should action be taken against him by the IBC?
I don't think that is a correct statement, because he's still the president of Kenya, and according to the constitution, he is the president of Kenya until the next election. So that is malice to me. That is unfair to use that as a statement, especially in this time of political season. Even him, when he was the prime minister, he used to do the same, and it has been a baton that everyone has been using ever since. And what should he do? That's the question Raila is not answering. What should the president do? Leave alone stop going to campaigns because he's the president, or use which kind of means? He's not giving an alternative that since you're a president, you should be doing like this and this. Because if you look at how the president is conducting his campaigns and how the opposition also is conducting their campaigns, there's no difference. They're all the same. So all from the Raila and the members of parliament in opposition, they use bodyguards. They go to the field with bodyguards and government cars and the same thing. So I don't find that as a valid reason to actually point at the government and saying this is government machinery. That's a wrong tactic for me.
Your response?
My response would be very simple. Is that of course we understand President Uhuru Kenyatta is still the president, but then he has to differentiate between when he's carrying out a national function and then when he's going to seek for votes. We have no objection when he goes to Nakuru and sleeps in the presidential palace in Nakuru, but we have a problem when he goes to Kisii during campaign time and issues a check, right, to IEBC. We also have an issue. IEBC? No, when he goes to Kisii and issues a check to the IDPs, that's what I said. And we also have an issue when he goes to Trans Nzoia and asks the Minister for Water, Eugene Wamalwa, that after some time he'll come and issue a check. So this is what we talk about when he's using state resources. Those are just two that I can be able to mention, because we don't want really to dig so much deep into it. But what we are saying is, if it's asking for votes, ask for votes. The issues of bodyguards, the Inspector General said that all presidential candidates, listen my brother, that all the presidential candidates will be given security, right? About 15 police officers also. There are those who are able to facilitate the police officers, because you need to have vehicles for yourself. So I really pity the other presidential candidates who may not be able to facilitate this security. Just 1 second. Just 1 second.
Yes.
And so as in when I'm talking, you listen. just like I'm listening when you're talking. So what we are saying is the issue of security, of bodyguards and all that, we have no issue with that. But now when you start going, when you have actually returned your papers, when you return the papers to IEBC, and the official campaign has actually begun, everybody is a presidential candidate.
Okay.
So they need to differentiate when they are carrying out state function.
My friend, can I remind you of something? MCAs, members of parliament, went to court and say our term will end next year. So they'll get salary till next year. If the members of county assembly, members of parliament are conscious about their term in office, what will make President Uhuru not to be conscious that he is still the president, and he has the promises he had made to the people that I'll do ABCD, and I find the interjection of the president right now to resettle the IDPs and also promise the people of Tanzania about water was timely issue regarding, remember, this has been a problem that has been there since 2007. It was not addressed by the people who were in government at that time. And it has come to a time whereby he remembered. You see, being a leader is you have to remember your people.
He remembered.
And Matthew,
actually, service delivery.
Yeah, it's service delivery. Yes.
Now, this is what I was saying. Just before. Okay.
My point is, the way Gideon said, President, campaign time and service delivery. Service delivery didn't stop. Or when my friend says President doing check off to the IDPs and all those things, it's a coincidence that it come now, but basically the service delivery by the president. It's and something that's actually going on.
What I'm saying was
so basically, what I'm saying
before you comment,
let me make my
allow me.
Let's give him a chance to let me finish my time. So the measurement or the parameters to say that the president has used public resources to campaign, I don't know where that one is coming from, because at the end of the day the president needs the way state guarding and all those things, helicopters and all those. But basically what we are saying is when the president goes somewhere, makes pledges or deliver services, people say now he's campaigning. And the expenses of
just to ask the question
of the Kenyans,
because
I'm alone. And this guy
Muriuki is faulting the convenience remembrance.
The convenience remembrance. That's exactly
just a
what.
schedule that
And listen, Gideon. What I'm saying is, we have no problem when the president goes and when he conveniently at the campaign time remembers to settle down the IDPs. But what is so difficult with the president or his team organizing for a state function to go and settle down the IDPs in Kisii, to go and settle down the IDPs in Trans Nzoia, a special function for that only? Why does he have to do the same resettlement of IDPs, or rather issue checks, all right, to the IDPs at this time, and at the same time hold a rally asking for votes? That's why you, my brothers, two young men, my fellow young men, I want you to differentiate the two things. Now, listen, Gideon, differentiate those two things between a state function and a campaign function. Once you differentiate those two, then I think you'll be able to understand.
For me, I find that as an opinion, and an opinion cannot form a conclusion, especially in this matter. For this reason, Raila is predictable. We know him from history.
Why are you bringing in the issue of Raila Odinga?
First of all, he's the one who made the statement. So first of all, he's predictable. Number one, we all know when it is campaign season, there are two things he might say. Either the government is doing state machinery, or he'll say my life is in danger. Those are the common statements. We expect him to say tomorrow, I want an increase in bodyguards. The way the normal drama he normally brings.
I don't know anything about Raila.
No, for now, let me just answer this. So this predictability of Raila, number one, he has complained about IBC ballot papers, giving information about some meeting that held in Dubai.
Yes,
that's another big fat lie, and we know him as a manufacturer of lies. And you see, why do you have to find also another reason as to why he always not that attractive to so many Kenyans. It is basically very simple. He likes to cry. He's a crying old man. You know, Kenya, we are in a state whereby we want solutions, and we tend to lean on the direction whereby we find someone who tells us, you've been wrong for long in this side, let's go this direction. Because he doesn't follow the path the Kenyan want to take, the path of Kenya Vision 2030. We should be discussing that direction. But every now and then, puts in, he calls it checks and balance, but for me, I find it as a retrogressive kind of politics, politics of non-productive politics, because he's an old man in this country, older than I think all politicians. He should be in a position to know in this season this is the way our country should behave. But instead, he went ahead and started giving us problems. We are in problems, for instance, in dealing with so many issues that are not going through maybe in parliament or in our counties, our differences in ethnicity. We want solution to these things. We want to feel safe. We want to feel there's someone who knows what we've been going through, and we are going to get solution soon.
You know, I just want to educate you a little bit, my friend Gideon.
It's not about education.
We do not choose to be old. Everybody one day will be old. And if you thought Raila Odinga was the listen, my friend, listen. If you expected, I mean, you have said that Raila Odinga is the oldest politician.
Yes.
I want to remind you, there's Gigi Kariuki, your own senator in Laikipia, right? And these are people that we must respect. We do not choose to be old, all right? In fact, they say old is gold. But I want to let you know one thing, that Raila Odinga is not a crybaby. Raila Odinga has talked of Mamluki, and everybody said, oh, Manasa Mamluki. Later on, the Mamlukis were actually seen, and they will left this country.
Actually,
one minute, guys, allow me to speak, Gideon. Learn to be patient. Another thing that Raila Odinga will always talk to you about, the issue of maize. The issue of maize, unga shortage. Raila Odinga has talked about it. He has talked about it, and right now, like you can see, we have just seen it on TV, that this unga cannot be sold to single young men. Yet Jubilee is purporting to be supporting the youth. I mean, it's all over in the news. Listen. If you can allow me just to finish. So if you can be able to listen, you know, actually they say you cannot bite the hand that feeds you. So Gideon, I don't blame you by trying to show how well you.
Can I remind you?
No, don't remind me at this moment.
Can I remind you?
But all I'm saying is,
who was the Prime Minister?
Gideon,
in 2009.
Why can't you learn to listen?
Have you heard the latest weekly?
Why can't you listen?
Why can't you learn to listen? Then we'll allow to. So
when they say that it's propaganda, that the people who have been around the tender met some senior Jubilee officials. It is true, it's in the news. There are photos to prove that they actually met sometime last year. And if you can see, IBC have been challenged with awarding tender to that firm. Then it was revoked actually by court. But then IBC has still gone ahead and awarded tender directly to the same company. Does that mean we cannot bring those tenders from somewhere else?
IBC, of course, is not represented here. They did, however, say that it was because of time constraint and ETC, and of course, probably we'll get a reaction from them later on. But
actually, one thing I can say, we are youth here. Actually, we must get rid of going to our leaders personally. But one thing I can say, President Uhuru Kenyatta, His Excellency, and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, both are able leaders. We really respect both of them, and we need guidance from them in terms of this type of crisis and all these things, elections. But we don't go deeper to whereby you can say now the government is doing this, public resources and all those things, because right now everything is timing. Every Kenya right now is watching the leaders to act soberly and to lead the Kenyans in a sober mind. So whenever we are doing something or criticizing maybe even the government itself, we must come with facts. At least something. Do your opposition work of check and balance, fine. But also you have to do some liaison also and see that this one you can do out of the maybe cameras and all those things. This is what has been done and these things. But when now a leader comes and say that the government is doing this or opposition is doing this, now that when the Kenyans are watching.
But with facts. So right now, if we say that with facts, if we say that with facts,
no, what they should do, according to me, these are leaders. A leader and a politician. Actually, this is the face of politician right now, I know. But they must act as a leaders and show Kenyans that leadership. So like the opposition right now, government doing maybe public resources,
campaigning with public resources and all those things, IDPs. You know, Kenyans appreciate right now any Kenyan who helps the crisis at the real time.
But in the right way.
But now,
take advantage of a situation.
Now, no, there's no real time. What happens here, real time is everything. Because right now, the service delivery does not have time. If the need is now, it's now. If the need is tomorrow, it's tomorrow. So, but now when we say that it's done now, and that now is timing, we'll not be able to say that now the right thing.
All right.
So for me, soberly, we are the youth.
Yes, I'll allow everybody
the guidance and take things.
Allow everybody to take a small, what we call a chill pill, as we take a short break, and then we'll be back with more. And also remember, we're also talking about the youth. So if you have any views, the hashtag for breakfast, and the SMS line is 2242. Stay with us.